Welcome to episode 21 of the Irish Fitness Podcast. This episode is brought to you by St. Patrick's Day, Ireland's premier holiday since 1258 or something like that shit.
No idea.
Around about that anyway, since St. Patrick started shifting the snakes out of Ireland. Some would say that he didn't really succeed, but we'll see how things go anyway. So today's episode we have Amanda Cummins on. Amanda is, in my opinion, Ireland's top master. She recently, over the weekend, took part in the online qualifier, so to get to the games, and was extremely close. It came right down to the wire. So Amanda finished in 16th place, which in a top field of 35 to 39, which is the hardest or the most difficult Masters division, is an amazing achievement. So Amanda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm great, girl. I'm great. We had a little audio malfunction there at the start, didn't we? We're on track now.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little tiny bit. For anyone, obviously you didn't see it, folks, but we actually forgot to put on our microphones, which is unusual for us. First time it ever happened. We've had a few whiskies and cokes to start things off, so we can be forgiven on the day that's in it. So, Amanda, you did the online qualifiers over the weekend there. I believe they were released kind of early Friday morning, weren't they? Like maybe 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. or something like that. So you would have woke up on Friday morning and see what was on the table, and then you had until around about 1 a.m. Monday night to do them.
Yeah.
Around about that.
Right.
So there were 6 workouts. Tell us how they went, God. Tell us how they went.
Well, the workouts went really well. When I first saw them on Friday morning, I was like, okay, like there's nothing here that I'm thinking, oh no, like I really can't do that. I felt like, like all the workouts that were released that were good, like, for me, and I could do them. I had decided to do 2 a day, so 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday, and then Monday was left for repeats.
Okay.
So I did Friday. I did the bar muscle up and toasted bar one. Went okay. I went out a bit hot. I started going broken in the first round.
Could you give us a little rundown on exactly what that is for anyone that doesn't know at home?
Yeah, so it was 3 rounds for time of 9 bar muscle ups and 18 toast bar.
Ooh, nice, so nice.
It was like.
And did you say that you hung onto the bar for the muscle ups and the toaster bar?
Yeah.
Woo! Dang, son. How did that work out for you?
The first round was grand. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Got to the second round and I was like, okay, the muscle ups are starting to go. Got to the third round and I was chicken winging my life out of the on that bar. Like, oh my god! Like I still got it in under 5 minutes.
Brilliant.
But I was just okay. That's definitely a repeat. It's like the first workout over the weekend. I was like, oh no, that's a repeat.
You'd always kind of start off with your favourite one maybe first, or one that's not going to take too much of a toll on you.
Yeah, well, that's why it's like one so to wouldn't take too much time. So I did that anyways, and that I got. But I was like, okay, I'll repeat that on Monday, and then Friday evening I did the 1 rep max clean and jerk.
Okay.
So Doreen and Paddy were there from Filthy 150.
Nice one. I saw that. I saw the video.
That and did an interview with me as well.
Look class. You came across very well in the video. What did you get on your 1 rep max?
97.5.
Nice. That's all I'm going.
Jesus.
So I'm going.
Very good.
You should. Have you ever done any weightlifting competitions, Amanda? You've done a couple, have you?
I've done one. I did one down your gym last March, the Masters.
Yes, that's right.
March. Well, that's the only one I've done. Yeah. So, but I couldn't lift as heavy back then as I can now.
Yeah.
Getting stronger.
I'll be able to go and try it again.
Yeah, 100%.
So that was a 5 kilo PB. So
nice one.
Brilliant.
Congratulations.
I tried for the I tried for the 100. It didn't work out, but I got under just to stand it up. So I know that the 100 kilos gonna come soon.
It will, 100%.
Then Saturday I did the 100. It was 100 dumbbell snatches, 50 cal row, and 100 burpees over the bar. So that was Saturday morning. That went really well. I did the 100 dumbbell snatches broken. I did the 50 cal row. I was really happy with my row, and then the burpees you just have to hurt it.
Just soak it up and hurt.
Like the first few were a bit wobbly.
What number workout was that, man?
You know, coming off the rower.
Which workout was that? Was it number?
Here, Tom.
Yeah. Leave that stuff to Niall.
Every time I was introducing the video, like, it's just like, Neil, what workout am I on? And I have to go and check the sheet. Like, I couldn't tell you like what workout was which.
Yes.
What number? So when I got off the rower and started into the burpees, I was like, oh my god, my legs. But you know, once I got about 5 or 6 burpees in, like, it was grand.
Brilliant.
Just continued on with that and did that. So I was really happy with that. So I was like, right, that's grand. Don't need to worry about that. Saturday evening, I went back and did. It was a 6-minute AMRAP of 8 thrusters at 38 kilos and then 50 double unders. So I did that. I got an okay score. That actually ended up being my worst place in the 6 workouts. So I did that, and I was like, okay, I can repeat that again, try that again, and see if I can get a better score. So that was Saturday. Then Sunday it was 2 rounds for time of 10 deadlift at 102 kilos, 20 handstand push-ups, which for it was a 3-inch deficit, and then 30 front squats at 29 kilos, I think it was, the front squats. So it was 2 rounds of that. So that went really well.
Okay.
I was delighted with that one. There's a little bit of dancing video at the end, so that made it on the
I saw that. Very good. You're a good dancer, Amanda. You're a great dancer.
Yeah. So then Sunday evening I went back and did the last workout, which was 4 rounds. It was 50 chest to bars and 10 overhead squats. So it was ascending overhead squats. So the first bar was 29 kilos. The second bar, I think, was 38, and then it was 52, and then the last bar was 65.
Jeez.
So that went really well as well, and the 65 was heavy. Like, I did all the overhead squats unbroken until I got to the last round.
Brilliant.
And then I had to break that up because it was 65.
Because it's heavy.
It's heavy enough for 10 overhead squats, like, so.
That is heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh?
I said because it's heavy.
So I did that. Yeah. Yeah, it is heavy. So I did that and I finished that really happy with that workout. So on Monday I was going to repeat the 2 workouts, which was the thrusters and double under AMRAP and the bar muscle up and toes to barbell. So I did, in the morning I did the 6-minute AMRAP, thrusters and double unders, and I got 3 reps less than what I did on Friday on the Saturday. So I was like, okay, not great. So maybe I'll eat it later on. So when I came back on Monday evening to do the bar muscle up and toes to bar, the 3 rounds for time, I redid that one and I broke it up in better, and I cut 30 seconds off my time for that.
Brilliant.
Nice. That was a good difference there. That's a big lesson then, isn't it? I think that, the way we feel like a god at the start of the workout in the first round, and we feel like we can do anything, don't we? But it is a good lesson that we should pace it probably from the start, no matter what kind of workout it is, unless it's like a France style thing and it's 2 or 3 minutes. But something like that, we should probably definitely split up a little bit more, and that's a really good lesson there.
Yeah, because it got really grippy. It was like on the forearms, like the forearms were like,
I can imagine, yeah,
fried after that workout. Like, so.
I bet.
And then I saw Yeah, I saw a few people do the age group qualifiers over the weekend, put up on Instagram, and a few people were like, yeah, did the first set and broke it and then died. So it seemed to be a similar theme across that workout, that it looks easy enough to do, but it's really not. Your grip just goes.
100%.
So I did that, was really happy, in a good mood. So I was like, right, I'm going to try the thruster one again. So it was third time lucky. I did the thruster and double under one again, and I got 3 more reps than what I got the first time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, at least I got a few extra reps.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
So I'm still happy with the workouts, but that was I knew then that sort of would be my worst scoring one.
What do you think in that between the two movements? So there was the thrusters and the double unders. What would you think was your kind of crux or your Achilles heel in that?
The double unders. I can't
double unders. Oh my man, go away. You can do them, obviously. You can do them. You're not as proficient as you'd like to be, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's it. I was just when I did it the third time, the first 2 rounds were grand. I was like, this is brilliant. It's going really well. I didn't went out tripping, and then I guess just got tired, whatever, and just the movement wasn't there, and I just kept tripping.
Oh, it's so tough that I know we can all say it. And we've all been there, in a competition situation and stuff like that. But there's always that little thing that just holds us back a little bit, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah.
My man, there's just a little bit pause there. Hang on here. Are we looking? Can you see us all right? We're looking a little bit.
I know.
Can you see us all right? We're pausing a little bit. Are you on Wi-Fi by any chance, Amanda, or are you on your regular?
Yeah.
You're on the Wi-Fi, are you? I'm wondering, right? This is not going to be in the thing or anything. Could you switch to your regular?
I'm on Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Could you switch to your regular, just your phone thing? Is there a good signal in that area for phone?
That's it. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Just try it there and see, and we can splice this up anyway. So don't
Our
worry about
Wi-Fi
it.
has been a bit hit and miss.
Everyone,
Yeah, it's all on my phone there.
how's that go?
Yeah. Give me a second, and I'll just.
Just to see. Hey, you're going sideways. Have you unlimited data?
Hope so.
Fingers crossed.
I do. It's grand.
Yeah, that looks better though, does it, Shane? Or hang on.
Yeah, it might stop a bit. But
Yeah, it might stop. We'll roll with it anyway. We can hear you good and stuff like that. And as I said, I'll splice it up, but we'll go with it.
Right, grand.
Yeah. So basically, you got through the 6 workouts anyway. Your last or number 1 workout, which you repeated 3 times. That was kind of your not your greatest performance, we'd say, and it was down to the doubles that you think. We did the maths, me and Shane, just before we started, and if that had been nearly your worst performance, as even a 29, you still probably would have made the top 10. Which is, we can all say that kind of stuff, but just to have that in the first place is just amazing. And you got it. Which workout was the top 5 finishing? 5th place.
It was the deadlift handstand push-up front squat one.
Brilliant. That's some performance,
yeah,
isn't it?
unbelievable.
That was the 5th place.
Get 5th in the world.
To go
is
5th place out
crazy.
of the top 200 in the world is absolutely phenomenal. And again, I'm not saying that, but the 35 to 39 is definitely the most difficult Masters division, isn't it? I think so.
Yeah, it is. When you look at the names in the top 10,
Yeah.
a lot of them have been, there before, and they're probably full-time athletes as well. Most of them.
They're games athletes. They're all that kind of business. They've been to the games. They've been successful not only in the Masters, but they probably come from a successful background in the individuals as well before they even got into the Masters. So kudos for you on that one, young lady. Absolutely phenomenal. Shane.
Yeah, so Amanda, I only wanted to ask about basically everything that happened kind of over the weekend and kind of unfolded, as in coronavirus and all this kind of stuff going on in the news. How did that play into this at all? It kind of landed at the exact same time that the qualifiers came out, with gyms shutting around the country. How did that kind of work out for you?
Yeah, it was a little bit stressful because you didn't know if the gym was going to be able to stay open. So obviously there's like a weird vibe as well at the minute because nobody knows what's going on. You didn't know whether, like, all the gyms were trying to stay open and do their best to stay open, but you didn't know what was going to happen. So that was, like, it didn't affect my performance, but it obviously was on your mind. And then, because the same as you guys, Neil was trying to stay open as long as he could. But then in the end, it was just, I think Sunday was like the day of death for all the CrossFit gyms in Ireland.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was just like one after the other. It was just like, okay, we're closed. So I had sort of said to Neil, look, if it comes to the stage that I can't come in on Monday and do my repeats, I was like, that's fine, because I got the 6 workouts done.
Yeah.
And he was all like, nope, I'll be here anyway and giving out equipment, so, that's no problem, come in, we'll get these workouts done, they're important. So he let me come in, even though he's closed. So I was very happy and delighted with that I was able to get in, because I know there was a lot of people who didn't. Like, I have a friend who was doing them in the male category in Germany, and on Sunday he didn't think he was going to get in on Monday either, but he ended up getting in because they had to clean the gym and stuff, so he was able to get in while they were cleaning the gym and do his repeats. But I know there's a lot of people who weren't in that situation that were able to do that, because obviously in the likes of Norway, like, it was a government mandated that they have to close all the gyms.
Yeah, we didn't really have that here. It was kind of our own decision, I suppose. Like Tom, as a gym owner, made the decision.
That's it.
I'm sure Neil did as well. But so going forward, I know we don't really know how long this is all going to last, but as an athlete, is that kind of playing on your mind of how do I train now? Are you just subjected to home workouts like the rest of us, all us normal people, or is it for you? Do you have like a rig at home? Do you have a barbell, or what is it?
Yeah, no, I don't have. I live in an apartment, so I have
okay.
But Neil gave me equipment, so I have like a Concept 2 bike, and I have a kettlebell and a dumbbell and a mat and stuff like that, and then I have a weight vest, so I can go out running the weight vest.
Okay, yeah.
So that'll be, that the only thing I'm worried about is obviously the strength section, because I don't have a home rig and plates and a bar and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I think what we might start seeing is, I think with athletes, especially in Ireland, because Ireland's quite small, tight-knit community in CrossFit, we might see athletes travel to other athletes' home gyms, maybe, and get some lifting in. I think it's just going to happen.
It's not a bad idea, Shane. It's not a bad idea.
You'd think it's going to happen, because it's hard to send like someone your level, like one of the best in the world in your division, home on a Concept 2 bike and do kettlebell thrusters or something. Rather, you know what I mean? When you should be really getting under some weight.
I know.
So I don't know. Maybe someone listening to this might give you a place to train.
Amanda, would Neil not sneak you into the gym for an old sneaky athlete workout or so? He's doing that. He's definitely doing it.
No, you might.
If I had you down here, I would do it.
Get around him.
Yeah, 100%. You'd have to put the squeeze on him, you know what I mean? You have to keep them fitnesses up, so that needs to be done. That needs to be done. And are you going to have you like a specific program now for the next few weeks, or what's the plan? Are you going to like just tap away and do the home workouts, or you might get your sneaky session in now and then, but obviously you can't train full time in the gym?
I'm in work anyway still. So,
what do you do as work?
Retail, so.
Oh, retail, okay.
Retail, yeah. So I work in a supermarket. So when the last place still open.
Okay. You're on the front lines basically, aren't you? Little bit of a pause there again. Hang on, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. So you're basically on the front lines of all those savages trying to get a bit of food then?
Yeah. And toilet paper.
Yeah, and toilet paper. What's that about? That's so weird. Did anyone explain that to you or not like that?
I don't know.
Why is people like stockpiling?
I don't know. I think it is. So I think because I'm in Australia, first place, and then Australia seems to be following suit.
Okay.
Toilet roll in Ireland of getting it, so I don't know. And then because of everyone wanting for a hard Brexit So all the supermarkets have plenty of food stocked, you know, because that's what they were preparing for. So the whole thing is actually working in the country's favour at the minute.
Yeah.
The
Brexit thing.
The coronavirus.
Maybe because they're eating so much food, because they're stocking it all up, then they think they'd need a load of toilet paper then to take care of that. That could be, lads.
Probably,
could
yeah.
be. If you're out there, lads, and you know why people are stockpiling toilet paper, let us know. Write into us and leave us know and
Cause and
see
effect.
how things are. So, Amanda, yeah, we basically we saw over the last few days you did your online qualifiers and all that, and a lot of people, I'm sure, are wondering, how did you get to the level you're at now? Could you give us a little background on your training? I know that you're a gymnastic person, so could you give us a little background on your athletic history and stuff like that? How you found CrossFit, how long you've been doing it, and what did you do before it? Can you hear me? Sorry, Amanda. Hello? It's a little bit of a bad connection. Hang on, okay. Can you hear me again? Did you hear what I said? It's a bad connection, God. Sorry. Can you hear me? Maybe.
Yeah, about my background. And
Yes. So basically, if you could give us a little back.
CrossFit.
Yeah. How did you find CrossFit and what were you doing before?
I know. That's what's happening.
You're pausing and we're pausing, I'd say, as well. Oh, fuck.
I think it's
What
just
do we do?
I think it's frozen.
It's frozen, is it? What's the Frozen song? Hang on, we give it a ring back. There you go. So before we got rudely interrupted by the viruses on the internet there, we were asking about your how you got into CrossFit and your background, your athletic background. So would you like to give us a little rundown on what you used to do before CrossFit and how did you find CrossFit?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I did gymnastics. I did that from I was about 5 up till I was 18.
Brilliant.
I used to train 5 days a week for that. I used to be lugging equipment in and out at the start and the end of each session. So that was like, a bit of strength training before I even knew it. And then when I was about 18, I gave it up, because I had to go to real life, start working and all that. I still used to coach at the time, but I didn't, I had stopped, competing. And then I sort of over the years then I didn't really do much. I would have been in and out of the gym, but nothing solid. And then sort of when I got into my 30s then, I started going back to the gym. I found a gym in Belfast. I was living in Belfast at the time and I found the gym that was doing, it was a boxing style gym. So the guy who owned it had been a previous champion boxer, so he'd opened the gym. It was a normal gym, and then upstairs he had all the boxing, so he did all the boxing classes. And that was how I got back into fitness. And then when I moved back to Dublin, I had been looking for something to do. I've been trying to find gyms and then I was training with a personal trainer for about a year. And I guess she did a bit of CrossFit with us, so I did CrossFit before I even knew I did CrossFit. That's what I always say to her. Okay. And she sort of introduced to it, but I was still under the impression that CrossFit was stupid. And then my cousin and her husband, Emma and Gavin, they came over from America for a visit, and they did CrossFit, and they were like, look, we want to do CrossFit when we come to Ireland, can you arrange it for us? And I was like, sure, I'll join in. I didn't know you were supposed to do a fundamentals or a beginner's course or anything like that. I didn't realise. I thought you could just go in. But so I went in and did a CrossFit class with them. And I was just like, oh, I actually really like this. I was like, straight away, I was like, oh, I hadn't done anything like that type of training, really. And I was just like, oh, this is actually really good. So when I did that class with them, and then I was like, did drop-ins then once a week. So I used to go on the days that he had gymnastics program. So I'd message Neil and I'd be like, oh, can I come up today? It's obviously, as you do as a drop-in. He's like, yeah, no problem. So I was doing that about once a week. And then a couple of the guys in the gym were like, oh, would you not do it more? And I was like, no, sure, I go to my personal trainer, I'm doing this, that, and the other. It's like once a week is grand. And then about 6 months in, the girl I was training with went away for a month. So I was like, okay, well, while she's gone, I'll do CrossFit for the month, I'll pay a full membership. And that was me then. That was it with CrossFit. I was like, yeah, so straight away then, because I'd been doing it for about 6 months and Capital Games was coming up, and Neil was all like, well, do you want to do Cap Games? So it was about a month later. And so that was my first competition as well. I did a Masters category with a girl then that I trained with for a YD. So I became third. So
Brilliant.
First competition became third. So I was delighted with that. And that was me then. I had the bug. I was like, I loved it because I'm from like having gymnastics. So like I'm a real competitive person. So that I hadn't really found anything from gymnastics that I could be competitive at. And then when I found CrossFit, I was like, oh, this is for me. Like, you can compete.
This is where it's at.
Every day in the gym. And then do competitions obviously as well. But then doing the Cap Games that year, I was just like, oh, this is it. This is the sport for me. This is something that I've been missing for the last how many years? Like really since I did gymnastics. And then that was it. I was hooked. And here's me 3 years later.
3 years. Was that in 2016 when you did the Capital Games, Amanda? Or was it 17?
Yeah.
16.
Was it 16 or 17?
16 or 17.
This is my April, next month is my third year in CrossFit.
Third year,
So,
that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Like, if you think of it in terms of that, right, you're not really even in the game in terms of CrossFit 3 years yet.
No, next month. I'm 2 years and 11 months.
2 years and 11 months, and yesterday or today or whatever you want to call it, you placed 16th in the world in your category. That's phenomenal, God. Phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Phenomenal. Absolutely. Kudos on that. Here, cheers to that. We'll have a little drink for you on that. Shano, pick up your glass there. We'll have a drink for you, God. I know you're on the water today because you're driving. You're in your car, but we'll have a little drink for you.
Yeah.
And as far as
I'll have a glass of wine later.
Do have a glass of wine. People were asking us to drink red wine on this, but I was like, yeah, not on Paddy's Day. But seeing as though you did so well, you can drink whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I know.
And
I might have had a few glasses last night as well.
Okay, you're right too, girl. You deserve it. I saw that big pizza you had up on IG. That looked nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it all, every last bit of it.
Like, and then in terms of live competition, so you've won the IFC twice, pretty much dominated every workout. You've been abroad as well. What competitions have you competed at over the last kind of year in the international scene, and how did you do in them?
So the first one I did was the Athens Throwdown. I had actually seen Kevin and Anto had done it the year previous. I'd done it last April and they'd done it the year previous. And that was me, like when I saw that on Instagram, I was like, oh, that's sort of like something I'd like to do. So I said to Neil, what do you think about doing that? And he's like, yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. So I signed up to do the qualifiers, and then obviously I qualified for them and went out, and then it was my first as well 3-day competition. So that was pretty cool. And then I ended up finishing third in that one in the Masters category.
Brilliant.
So and I was really happy because the girl who came first in that category went on to the games that year. She was in the 40 plus category then for the games, but she was in 35-39 for Athens. So she had qualified for the games, so it was pretty cool to compete. That was my first experience of competing with someone who was going to the CrossFit games. So that was cool.
That's unreal, girl. That's unreal.
And then I went and did your competition then. That was the next one. So your competition, the first year I did it was my first individual competition.
Okay.
That I done. So I was really nervous going into that. Obviously I wanted to win as well.
You
when I did win it, I was like,
You didn't show your nerves anyway. You absolutely smashed it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You're going to do the triple this year. We'll see what happens. We're hoping that.
Well, I don't know. I might do RX this year.
I'd love to see that, Amanda. I would absolutely love to see that. Just for anyone that doesn't know, lads. So Amanda obviously is a master, 35, 39, but you tell the people where you placed on the individual leaderboard in Ireland this year in the Open.
Third.
Yeah. So basically, you're the third fittest woman in not only Ireland, but the third fittest Irish woman in the whole world.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's in the same bracket as Emma McQuaid and Aoife Burke, who are both regionals athletes.
Yeah.
Emma then is Emma, you know what I mean? She's a games athlete. So to be in the same category and actually sitting next to them on the leaderboard is an absolutely phenomenal thing. I'd like to see you doing it, Amanda. I think if you go in for the Masters this year, you know what's going to happen, and I think everyone else knows as well. You know what I mean? But I would love to see you go in against the girls in RX and see what happens. Treat yourself to a 3-day comp. What does another podium place in the Masters in the IFC mean to you? Great and all that, and it's fantastic. But what would a podium place in the IFC in the individuals mean? That would mean a lot, wouldn't it? So I think you should. I will.
I'm seriously thinking about it at the minute. So.
I think you should. I think you should. 100%.
Why not?
I will definitely. Actually, do you know something? You're not allowed to enter the 35 and 39 now. You have to do RX. So that's the choice removed from your hands. Yeah, you shouldn't have said nothing, girl. You shouldn't have said nothing. Go on anyway. What were you saying about competitions?
I did the IFC as well last year, and then I did Powerful with Jeff. Me and Jeff did Powerful.
Yes.
And I really wanted to. I was like, it'd be really nice to podium on Powerful, and then we ended up winning it, which
won
was
the whole thing.
You know, brilliant.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So that was brilliant to win that, like, because you're up against like Cara and Erin, like, so it was just brilliant to be up against on the podium with those two girls, and as well with Jim and Matt as well, like, so it was just pretty cool. Then I was asked to be on a team for Filthy for Chapter 2 Fitness, and I was just like, sorry, what? Someone's asking me to be on like a team, like, I just was really, and doing that was just brilliant. So I was on that team with Barry and Filippo and Maddie from Chapter 2 Fitness. So that was, you know, a sanctioned event, the first sanctioned event in Ireland, and it was just an amazing weekend, and it was brilliant to be part of that. We finished up 13th as well, which is really good. So we made a few mistakes on that. So, you know, we probably could have been up the leaderboard a bit more, but even just to be, you know, in that position as well, like, is just brilliant. And for me, that was like, okay, I belong here, you know, I can keep up with these guys, and, you know, then I was just like, right, that's it, I want to do like loads more sanctions. So I was just like, for this year, I was in Norway there in February, where I placed 5th, a Masters as well, so I qualified for that through the Open. And then I just did the qualifiers last week as well for Lowlands, which is in the Netherlands, so that's at the end of May. So I qualified for that pending, you know, official results, and then obviously if it goes ahead with this whole
coronavirus thing, yeah. There is a big uncertainty now at the moment for everyone, isn't there? Athletes and competition organisers. Obviously from your point of view, you always try and, when you're at the level you're at now, I'm sure you plan out the year and say, I want to do this competition. For me personally, as an event organiser, there's a lot of uncertainty there as well, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, normally tickets go on sale for the IFC in a couple of weeks, but obviously that's going to affect everything. And even if everything is cleared up and the event could go ahead by July, it's the whole ticket sales thing. Will athletes have enough time to train? Because their gym time is limited. then will they be able to get into the gym, and will they have the confidence to train, to compete then in front of a lot of people? So there's a load of different factors going on with the way things are in the current climate with the coronavirus and stuff like that. It's a strange time. It's a weird feeling. What's the feeling like up in the gym up in your place?
I'm sort of in the same thing. Like, you're like, well, you can't train properly anyway for at least 2 weeks. You know, until the end of the month, till we see then what's going to happen. So you just don't know. Nobody knows what's going to. You could be out for 2 weeks. You could be out for 4 weeks.
Could be.
And it's the same the world over. You know, in the whole of Europe, really. It's
it is.
and then I see now in the States as well, they're starting to close down all the gyms as well, and
it is. It's
and that. So I think
it seems to be the same everywhere. I think again we tried to fight it off a little bit. I know I did. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll make all these measures and all that. But it's like I don't know if you ever seen Star Trek, but what the Borg said is inevitable. You know what I mean? It just has to happen, and that's it. The way it is with the kind of spread of it and all that, it would probably be irresponsible for any of the gym owners to stay open in terms of putting in classes and all that kind of stuff. Now, whatever about 1 or 2 people coming in, I'm not sure about that, but to run a full schedule and to have all these people coming in, coming out, it probably won't be responsible, Shane, would it?
No, and I just think we're just going to see a big shift, like we were saying earlier, in like what gyms are going to do. So everything's moved online now. So that means that competitions are just unfortunately going to be put on hold. We talked last episode a bit about how all these sanctions are just cancelled now. When there's a few of them that were like, we have we'll do it behind closed doors, we'll do it all online. When realistically, like, CrossFit's just kind of cancelled.
I think it's about 10 now, isn't it?
Yeah, all of them, you know, like CrossFit is just not a sport. It's not a sport right now, so.
I know it's any sport as well. Like, I follow NCAA gymnastics and all, and so all the NCAA sports were just stopped last week.
Yeah, you think, because college is done. Their college sports, they're done as well, that kind of thing as well, yeah. So Amanda, moving on then to, we wanted to ask you basically, like, we ask a lot of athletes because we think it's a very interesting topic of recovery and how you recover and nutrition, and how do you balance you're laughing already, I don't know if you take it that seriously, but how do you balance like your work? So if you work full time and you're trying to be an elite level athlete, how do you balance 2 of those with your nutrition and your recovery as well?
With great difficulty sometimes. I have to say, I could work any time from 4:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night. So I try and get my training in around my shifts of work. So I could be training at 7 a.m. one day, I could be training at 5:30 or 6 the next day. So it's like I've no like set schedule. So I get my rota sort of about 3 weeks in advance. So then once I get my rota, then I'm like, okay, this day, I'll train this time, and then I'll train at whatever time I can. And then I just, with sleep wise, I just try and get as much sleep as I can. So I sort of play catch up on days off. Try and get more sleep in. I like to nap a lot, so I'll get naps in between if I finish work early enough, and then before I go training, like, I'll get like a little nap in as well.
Okay.
With regards to nutrition, I started like properly with nutrition there back in January with a guy called Aidan. He's actually over in Australia at the minute, but he's from CSP Gym in Bray.
Okay.
Shout out to Aidan. Shout out to Aidan.
So he, I got in touch with him through one of the coaches in the gym, Warren. Will sort of help me try and find someone, because it's actually really hard to find someone in Ireland to like give you proper nutrition advice.
Okay.
You know, even if you Google whatever, like, nothing comes up. Like I had said that to Aidan, I was like, when you Google, like, you know, sports nutrition or performance nutrition or whatever like that, because that's where I had started first, and there's nothing. There's like one guy came up who was like a nutritionist for the GAA Dublin team or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting.
That was all that came up.
Right.
So anyone who's doing nutrition, get onto that Google.
Yeah, that's a niche market right there. I think for CrossFitters as well. Like, if you think of someone like you into, like, there's a lot of people like you who want to train, who have a full-time job as well, and then need nutrition advice around the clock kind of thing. So with someone like you, I'd say there's a big market there. Someone get on that, start hand out nutrition advice to elite athletes in Ireland.
100%.
I know, that's it.
And Amanda,
It's really...
sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, it's so hard to find someone like what Warren knew of Aidan through, because he knows like the guys in CSP, like, and that's how he had heard of Aidan, and that's why he got me in contact with Aidan then that way. But before that, you know, I was having trouble because I wanted to go to someone who was sports performance specific. I didn't want to just go to, you know, a standard place that has like a cookie cutter program for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted something that was for me, you know. So, and that's what I found with Aidan. Like, he's really knowledgeable.
He's individualised.
He knows his stuff, and he's like suggested a lot of things.
And you started with him, and did you see like a jump in performance since you started with him? Did you notice that there was a definite kind? Yeah, you did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And like, could you give us a little idea, a little rundown of what you would eat like day to day with the new diet? Don't tell us about the old one, because if I told you about my old diet as well, people would be shocked. But what's the new one like, and how does that help you in day to day training?
Well, it's all about eating the right carbs at the right time. Basically, it's all carbs. So he has it set out, you know, you have your green carbs and your orange carbs, and I need to have green carbs pre and post training. He set out my macros for me, because literally at the start I was like, you need to tell me exactly what I need to eat, until I get used to it, you know, because like I would eat good foods. Anyway, I wouldn't really, like, my big thing is chocolate, like with takeaways or, you know,
I love chocolate.
Stuff like that, it doesn't really bother me. But chocolate is my, I'm a fiend, like, for chocolate. I really am.
I love it, yeah. We all are got a fucking, you get that nice, like, kind of salty chocolate out of Aldi or something like that, you know what I mean? You know that one? You know, you get the bars of the white
sea
stuff.
salt,
I know mine's,
what would you like?
Yeah, I have a crunchy.
Crunchy, that's old school. Crunchies are lovely though. Yeah, that's a really nice one.
Proper chocolate.
Yes.
So I was like to look.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. I was like, no, I need chocolate, because if I don't have something every day, I'll just go mad. Do you know what I mean? One day I'll just go mental, like, and I'll just eat everything all around me.
Yeah.
So he set me on like a couple of like sample days and that. So like I eat a lot of rice, pasta, potatoes, that sort of stuff. Even stuff like cereals now, like I'd have cornflakes with some fruit and some yogurt. Like this week I've been eating a lot of Cocoa Pops as well.
Oh, Cocoa Pops are nice. I like Cocoa Pops.
Yeah. So you have some of the fun stuff as well in there with like all the healthy, good stuff.
You have to have the fun stuff as well, Amanda, because if you're not eating, like, you know, these restrictive diets that you can't have this and you can't have that, there has to be some kind of leeway in there. Otherwise, people will just fall off, and when they fall off hard then as well. That's what we've experienced, isn't it, Shane?
Oh yeah, for sure.
If things are too restricted in any form of life, be it diet or whatever it is, relationship, work, you name it, that people will go hard the other way. They might stick to it for a certain period of time, but once they weaken then, or they feel like, okay, not sure about this, they'll go hard, they'll lean hard the other way, and it comes off the rails altogether. So I think it sounds like that you have it spot on with, like, okay, I can have a little bit of this, not too much, but I'll have a little bit and I'll enjoy myself, and then I'll have a load of the good stuff. Would that be kind of correct?
Yeah, because like if I want to go out for dinner or for lunch or something like that, I work that in, you know what I mean? So I'll just save calories, you know what I mean? I'll just not eat something, like if I really want to go out for dinner, I'll just not eat something during the day. And work, they're like to me, you eat all the time. They're like, how are you so slim? They say to me, you're eating all the time. It's just like,
because I do.
I'm eating the right food.
Because I do 3 or 4 CrossFit workouts a day.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, I just move a lot, because I have a physical job as well.
Yes.
Like most days I do between 10 and 14,000 steps in work.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So you're just, you have that then for the 8 hours or 9 hours a day, I have 10 hours a day I'm in work, I'm moving. Do you know what I mean?
You're
And then
hitting
I
it
go
anyway.
training as well. So
Brilliant. Fucking hell, God. You're putting me to shame, man. I feel a little bit guilty here now, sitting here, drinking whiskey and not doing 10,000 steps a day. I'll try 100%. Another question I would like to ask you is, so like, I'm a master, you're a master. What advice would you give to people coming into that, say, 35 or even the 40 plus bracket, with regards to training? I know for me personally, so I've been doing CrossFit since 2009, and I definitely feel a difference with like recovery and all that kind of stuff and what I need to tweak. Like back then, 11 years ago, I could basically do whatever I wanted. I could come in, I could train. If I wanted to do a Thai boxing session in the morning and then a 2-hour CrossFit session in the night time, I could do it without any issue, and I could do it every day if I wanted. Obviously now, the older we're getting, obviously we need to change certain things. What advice would you give masters coming into that 35 bracket or into even the later bracket that not only want to be competitive but just want to stay kind of healthy or whatever? What would you say to them?
Sleep, really. That's like I've noticed in my
High five for sleep. I just gave Shane a high five.
I don't have a Whoop.
You don't have a Whoop?
I don't have a Whoop or app like that. No, just before you
Jesus
asked you that
Christ.
question, I don't have it.
Have you not been listening to me?
I know.
It's not the
well,
one.
tell me, like, it'd be to give me 45% all the time.
Yeah. You get a shit score.
Stop.
You're a big you're a big advocate of sleep then.
Yeah, like, cause like some nights I'll only get 6 hours sleep, like, and that's just because I have to train and then I'm up early for work. But then, as I said, on my days off, I'll get 9 hours. You know, and I always make sure I get 8 or 9 hours when I can. There's just some days I just can't get that. Like, so.
Okay.
But my hours were changed. I used to work 48 hours a week, and then last year we were changed to 39 hours a week.
Okay.
And that has made a huge difference as well in my, like, obviously sleep. So then in the gym, like, my performance is better because I have like 10 extra hours really a week.
Yeah.
You know, that I can just chill out and relax rather than having to be at work. So that's a big thing. And I've also gone to the physio.
Good girl.
I've been making, especially since I've been starting to do like more international comps. I started going like twice a month, really, going and just getting, you know, all little niggles looked after so that, like, because again, a few years ago I'd have been like, nah, it's grand, it'll go away.
And
when you get a little bit older, it doesn't quite go away as quick.
100% girl, 100% agree. So you've kind of changed from not getting that much treatment to go maybe twice a month. Do you think that definitely makes a difference between your performance and staying injury free? I think that's a lot of the time when we're getting into that Masters division, it's not even how hard we train, it's about staying injury free, I think, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, because I've had a few niggles, and every time I go to him, he's like, "So what's wrong this week?" I'm just like, "Well, I did this week," and then he'll just do whatever he has to do, give me some exercises to do, and then within a couple of weeks, I don't have that issue anymore. And then I always make sure that I'm doing the exercises and anything that he advises me to do. I'll just continue on doing that. Like I'll always warm up my shoulders really well, and that, because I find like my shoulders and back will be what would give me the most hassle. Like it's not even that bad, do you know what I mean? But I don't want it to get bad, so that's why I just keep trying to
100%.
keep on top of it.
Shoulders, I think, is one of the biggest things in CrossFit. I think because there's so much mobility in the shoulder, we hit it so hard every day. Like most of the stuff we do, unless you're like doing fucking deadlifts or air squats or something like that, is shoulder related. Either hanging from the bar or pressing overhead or doing this or whatever. So I think, and the shoulder joint is such a small joint with so many different moving parts that probably needs the most attention out of all the stuff that we do. So I definitely think you're on the right track by prioritising shoulder health. There's a load of different shoulder programs and stuff like that out there, and I think for me personally, the more I hang out of bars and the more I stretch my shoulders and the more I do like even just like rotation stuff, you know, with small weights, the better it seems to go in terms of, you know, shoulder pain and stuff like that. And I'm sure you're the same, are you?
Yeah. That's why I just started going to him because, like, more often, because I sort of would have gone, when I like felt something happen. Do you know when you're like in training and you're like, oh, that's a little bit sore, I'll go get that checked out. But
Typical
now
Irish girl, typical Irish.
twice a month. Yeah.
It's the old, yeah,
But now
I'll be grand, I'll be alright. And then when your shoulder is hanging down by your side and the other one's up like this, then you decide to go and do it, isn't it? That's the way I am anyway. But I've learned over the years, I think we have a lot of wisdom to pass on to these youngsters like Shane there about like taking care of ourselves and stuff like that. Like the wisdom that that age brings you. We're only young still. I'm 38. You're only what, 36?
No, I'm 38 as well.
Are you 38, Amanda? Oh fuck! I feel good now. I'm jacked. But yeah, I think being a little bit older, folks, gives you a little bit more wisdom as well. Not that we are old or anything like that, but when you start off in something first. I know that I was that way in like kickboxing and Thai boxing, and even CrossFit when I started first because I was in my 20s. I had this gung-ho attitude. I can do anything. I'm bulletproof. There's nothing can hurt me. You know what I mean? But the older you get on, then you realise, maybe I shouldn't do this and I shouldn't do that, and maybe I should warm up. Maybe I should stretch. Maybe I should go get some mobility. Maybe I should get a massage once a month. Maybe I should eat clean. And there's all these different things that come into play, you know what I mean? So I think from our point of view, from me and you, we have a lot to offer the youngsters of today about not just the training side of things, but the after side of that as well, all the little bits and pieces that go around with it, you know what I mean? So sleep more, Shane.
Yeah, I try to.
He does, you're an advocate.
No, college is great, I get to sleep now.
Yeah, 100%. Amanda.
I know, see.
It was absolutely fantastic talking to you today, girl. Is there anyone you would like to give
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, 100%, girl. Love to have you on. We had a little few technical difficulties, but we got through them eventually. Would you like to give a shout out that before we leave it off?
I just want to, Niall and Warren at DSC, the two of them are like the best. They really look after me and they do go above and beyond for me in my training. Like, I'd be flat out onto them, like ask them a million questions, and Niall is programming separately for me, so I really appreciate that I don't have to go somewhere else. That I have Niall right by my side and I have someone to tell me who's there every day. So for me, I think that really helps. And then Warren with the weightlifting side as well. Warren knows his shit, like, and to have him there as well, he gets asked about 50 million questions.
That's the way.
He's flat out on Facebook. I'd be asking him a million questions, like, so. That's great. And then all the guys in DSC as well, they're so supportive. Every single one of them, they just go above and beyond as well. They're the best supporters ever. I'm sure everyone says that about their gym, but for me, they really rally around when it comes to this sort of stuff. And then I want to shout out to Aidan as well, because I think between like me programming and now having me nutrition sorted, I think me nutrition was the last sort of piece of the puzzle that needed sorted. And I think since, like, because I always had the training there but that has just pushed me more, so Aidan as well, like, so and he's called, I don't know what his name is, if it's McKey or Mackey, I don't know, it's Mackey, but he's Aidan Mackey.
You should know that. You should know that.
Mackey, I think.
I'm sure he'll forgive you.
But when you look at a name and you don't know how to pronounce it.
I think he's Mackey.
Could be Mackey, is it?
Yeah, Aidan Mackey.
Shane thinks it's Mackey, so that's
okay.
I think so, yeah.
Grand. So I was right there.
You are right.
Yeah, he's on Instagram as well, so if anyone wants some good nutrition programs, you can
get on
himself. Instagram.
And what's your handle on IG, Amanda? If anyone wants to get on and follow you, I'm sure there will be a few people after this.
It's Amanda J. Cummins on Instagram.
Are you private or are you public?
Oh no, I'm public.
Hey, good job. You're up in your athlete status.
Oh yeah.
You got to do that, girl.
I come to hide on Instagram.
That's it, girl. That's it. Leave the hair or see as well, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Amanda, you were absolutely a pleasure to talk to. We had a little couple of technical difficulties, but we got over them. We jumped into the car and we did all that kind of business. Again,
Yeah, I know.
congratulations. You have my kudos on placing 16th in the world in the online qualifier. Such a close thing, but I think that I firmly believe, I'm always after saying over the last couple of years that you're the best master in Ireland has ever seen. I think you can still get there. I think next year we will see you at the games.
Hopefully I'll be a bit fitter and a bit stronger next
I think
year.
so. I think
Sure.
so. I think
Fingers crossed.
I've 100% that we will see you at the games next year, and we would love to have you on again.
Oh,
Shane,
for
wouldn't
sure,
you?
yeah.
And 100%.
What we can do is if you're going to any competitions, any kind of big comps, if they are going ahead, before you go, we can have you on. Or after you do a big comp, have you on, you can give us a whole lowdown. How's that sound?
Yeah, cool.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, Amanda. Right,
Cool.
you have a great weekend. Enjoy your Paddy's Day.
Thanks.
Stay corona free.
Well,
That's a big
I
thing
will.
nowadays.
I'm
Yeah.
getting the wine in.
Yeah, get the wine in. You deserve it. Respect social distancing and all that kind of stuff. Don't be staying too close to people in the off license. And we'll see you soon, girl.
No. Okay, cool. Thanks,
See
Tom.
you soon, Amanda.
Thanks,
Take it
Amanda.
easy,
Talk to
girl.
you later.
Good luck.
Bye.
Legend. She's a good girl, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great
Nice.
girl.
Very nice.
Cheers, buddy. We'll have a little sip there. Yeah, that was a great insight into kind of what, like, realistically, she is the best master that we've ever seen.
For sure.
In terms of fitness, in terms of ability. Now, shout out to Martina. Martina has done the online qualifiers 4 times, so she's been in the top 200. But I can't remember anyone making as close.
To the top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the top 10. She's 6 places off, and the fucking first workout, 63rd place.
Yeah.
Even if she got her worst place in that, which is 29, she still would have made it,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
And if you look at
Absolutely
like
phenomenal.
the top, like she was saying, look at the top 10 of that. Like they're all experienced. Some of them are games athletes, individual. And
Games
she's been doing
athletes.
CrossFit. She works a regular job, been doing CrossFit for not even 3 years, and she's 16th in the world.
She less than 3 years.
Yeah,
She's
crazy.
been doing CrossFit less than 3 years, which is mental. Imagine like what I look like in a video less than 3 years. Or you even. You're not doing too bad.
No.
But I wouldn't like to see a video of myself less than 3 years into it.
Yeah.
But it's mad, man. What dedication, and what I firmly believe that from a background, I think gymnastics is the best background.
Yeah, there's a few of them that like I think when it comes to athletes in CrossFit, I think background is everything. There's a few athletes that are just like outliers and have no background really, or they were in loads of sports and they weren't good at any of them. They were just kind of, which also helps when they come into CrossFit because you need so many skills and coordination and strength and all that. But like it's most of the time, if you've been not even elite level, but if you've been in a sport, disciplined training for a number of years, usually carries over into CrossFit. CrossFit kind of favours